Donald Trump is about to get in office, and I believe there's a narrative for the US based cryptocurrencies that could explode in the next couple of weeks. Trump is probably one of the most bullish things that could have happened in crypto in the history of crypto, and he's surrounding himself and is filling up the White House with people that are pro crypto. So let's look at some charts that I'm staring at right now like a hawk, and see which potential plays we could play as he gets into office, and potentially we see bullish catalysts like regulations and so on. First of all, let's look at the pretty much the leader right now when it comes to charts and a US based coin, and that's XRP. And for a first time in forever, pretty much since 2017, people that bought the absolute top and held through all this, if they held, were in profit just today, actually yesterday. So that's crazy. You know, the fact that this thing went through all kinds of SEC suits, it won or settled most of them. It had a massive pump once Trump was elected, consolidated just for a bit, and now it's pushing for another leg higher at an incredible high valuation. I think that's really, it's not something to get ignored, but obviously I don't think it's a great spot to be buying XRP. This could go much higher, but keep in mind we're getting at retarded valuations here. It's very close to actually flipping Ethereum XRP currently, but who knows? You know, we don't really know what's going to happen, and that's why I'm trying to look for better plays. And we're going to look into some charts, but it's not only US based coins that I'm watching, because there are a lot of US based coins that we can add to the list. There are probably thousands of them, but I'm also looking for some confluence. So one of them is, are they like very close to the government? Like, for example, XRP was meeting with Trump the other day. Or they have also this kind of old vibe like XRP, because XRP is one of the oldest coins, you know, and it seems like this goes into the narrative of not only US based cryptocurrencies, but also stuff that has already been through a cycle. And let me go and show you first the kind of obvious one, Solana. Solana is pretty much been the biggest winner of this cycle. And as you can see here on the chart, it bottomed pretty much here around 180. And now it's trying to push for a fresh high here. So I believe if you don't have a Solana, or if you want to play this narrative, I think this will be also a beneficiary of this narrative, on top of, you know, everything else that is happening on Solana. But very obvious, we would like to see what happens here at this level. But pretty much if we break, and if we do something like this and maybe a retest, this could be a good entry. But also, if we pull back here in the weekend, maybe, you know, we get a better entry here as well. Of course, if this bullish scenario plays out, but any of those scenarios, I think, could be a good potential play for Solana. If we go on the weekly, you'll see that pretty much we tagged this zone here quite aggressively a few days ago on the sell-off, and now again we're looking to flip that structure and potentially make new highs and new all-time highs. So definitely this is kind of the obvious play, and even if the narrative doesn't play out so much, I think this will still do well. Another one that's starting to heat up is LTC. I'm not 100% sure if this is honestly a US based coin, but it's again an OG project. A lot of retail US people were buying it because it's available on many exchanges, including Coinbase. So even if it's not 100% based in the US, I think it's safe to assume that it falls under this narrative. And let me tell you this, I fumbled a great entry here, somewhere around here, $70-$80. It just made, you know, fresh highs here from this massive accumulation. And now that we've had a pause and retest pretty much of this level, you can see that we're pretty much gearing for another breakout here on the daily. Again, very aggressive price action following up with XRP, but lagging obviously, and this is still far away from its all-time high. I'm not saying it's gonna go there, but you know, even if we target this, which I think it's quite optimistic. But let's say we have the breakout here, we have a close above this level. I think targeting 33% risk, which is again huge. I wouldn't be doing this, and targeting for 170-80% gains. It's not a bad risk to reward. Of course, you need to adjust the size and so on. But if we narrow this down, maybe again something similar, if it plays out like Solana and we get a retest or a pullback here just before the inauguration, that could be an awesome entry. Or even better, if we don't get it, because when these things start to run, they really start running. I think it's not a terrible idea to go on the 4-hour, 1-hour chart and just look for potential entries, small pullbacks, and then scale into this and be prepared, obviously, to cut shorter if you're trading on a lower time frame. One of my favorites right now when it comes to charts is actually probably it's Cardano, just because, again, if we zoom out a bit, very similar setup. We had a huge accumulation, very choppy, very long, and now clearly above it, clearly consolidated above it, and now we're trying to push for new highs. I think this, like when it comes to where it's listed, what's the market cap, it's US based and so on. It's an OG token that did well last time around, strong community. I think for a trade, this could do quite well. And the setup here is shaping up nicely. Again, you can see the green here and the push towards this resistance, but really that's what we want to see. We want to be buying the stronger tokens. So even this preliminary, I'll call it breakout, because obviously we have this cluster here. But if you start scaling into this with 25-30% risk, and again targeting new all-time highs, I don't think it's terrible. But ideally, what I want this to do is something like this, and maybe then a breakout. So it will give us a lot better risk to reward somewhere around here, or maybe we pull back, from here into this area. I think this also could be a very good place to buy around $1 if we get there, because with things heating up, if this plays out, I'm not sure we're gonna get the bigger pullback. So watch even for shallower ones, like maybe in this area just above $1, because probably $1 is like clean level that everybody's looking at, and I'm not sure if we're gonna get there. Another one is Algo. Algo is kind of a forgotten coin, but again, the chart looks very similar and it looks ready to pop. This reminds me also of Aave. Let me just show you Aave real quick. This chart. Again, this happened for Aave maybe somewhere around here. Oops. So we had this accumulation. We started heating up here. So I'm thinking that Cardano ADA could be right here. So where Aave was just after breaking out of the zone and accumulating a bit. Obviously not one-to-one, but you could see similar pattern. This has shown a bit more strength here on the first push. But if we get on another leg, no, not Aave, I was talking about Algo, but ADA pretty much similar. And you can see here that if we start breaking above and closing, and again on the daily you could look for closes above this level around 50 cents. Again, good level to trade around. I think this could also be a winner. You don't need to play in all of these, obviously. Probably if I take a stab at it, it will be just maybe one or two maximum. But I probably like ADA the most. Algo also looks decent as a second pick. H-bar also quite interesting. These drawings close to all-time high, quite strong actually. On the closing basis, pretty much this is resistance. So it will be interesting. For me, it's a little bit difficult token to trade, just because we have this overhead resistance right now, and it's a big zone. But again, on the lower time frame, like if we start closing above this, I think you can see the chart looks pretty much the same like all the others. A couple more picks. One of them is Unisat. This one looks a little bit weaker, and if you could find a good entry here on the weekly, again, we've broken out. Now we're trying to reclaim this level that we lost. But if we reclaim like 15-16 bucks, right here, I think this could also make for a good entry. Like even here, it's like 25%. And obviously you can target much higher if this starts playing out. Now, the question is, if we get into a full-blown bull market for altcoins, will it matter which one you pick? Maybe less so, and maybe tokens that are have less price history and less back holders, like in this case, like Unisat could do very, very well and much better. But you know, I just wanted to show you a narrative here that's playing out. One other one that I'm considering, it's actually ONDO. ONDO, I've been trading in and out of it. Very good token in my opinion to trade. Obviously BlackRock is behind it, but here right now I sold my last back when we were breaking down of this level. But here I think it makes for a very, very good setup. If we reclaim this level, you know, target here the lows like 12-13% risk. For the all-time high, it's 56%. So this is like a 4.4 R on a trade like this. And I honestly believe, like, if we get to this level, the target should be a lot higher, like $3, $5. I think it's not out of the ordinary, especially with the bullish catalysts of Trump and, you know, potentially the bull market developing even further. So yeah, these are some ideas, and obviously you know how to find me if you have any questions.